Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome into this Sunday morning edition of Snaps. I'm here at the homestead. Aaron Murray is as well. If you hear my kids running around the background, my wife's out of town, so that's what that is. And if you hear any, rage and windows breaking and things being thrown, that is me because I'm having flashbacks to watching LSU's defense last night. The most inexplicably bad defense that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I say inexplicably because, I could understand when it was Bo Pelini. He hadn't been around in years, yada, yada. Matt House was good last year. You have good players returning. It's Brian Kelly. And yet LSU cannot stop anyone to save their lives or their season, Aaron Murray.
Yeah, it was funny. My dad texted me last night. He said, "Man, are you watching this awesome game between LSU and Ole Miss right now?" I was like, I don't know if I would use the word awesome to describe this game. If you're a fan of offense, and RG3 said it a few times on the broadcast of how excited he was to cover the game. I would say that'd be a fun game if I was in the booth. But as a fan of football, I thought the game sucked. I really did. That's not the type of game I want to watch. I don't want to watch essentially 7-on-7 flag football, and that's what it looked like for both sides. We talked all we want about how bad LSU's defense was. Ole Miss was the same way, and Ole Miss should have lost the football game. The ball went right through the receiver's hands for LSU. That's the crazy thing. LSU should have ended up winning it on that last play from Jaden. I forgot what receiver it was. Went right through his damn hands. But it was a pitiful for the SEC, and it's just been a bad year for the SEC. But the SEC to tout itself as a physical football league, dominant defenders, all these guys that have been drafted off the defense side of the football over the past decade plus, that's not the type of football I've been accustomed to seeing. And you could just say that about the entire SEC as a whole right now. But just fucking tackle someone. What is so hard? Just tackle them.
There's one point in the first half where my old man, who if you don't know, whatever, he played quarterback in the NFL for a long time, so the man knows football, right? And he doesn't really know how to text. He sends these very clipped, short text messages, and he just texted high school open. And he's exactly right. That was some high school Harry bullshit from both sides. And what sucks is, at least whatever. This is the LSU perspective, so I don't want to lean into this too much because I know we talk about a lot of other stuff here. But Jaden Daniels was incredible. Absolutely incredible. He made throws that I didn't think he was capable of making, dropping
especially in the red zone
bucket. Oh my God, tight throws, third and goal, gotta have it. And he made these plays with an unreal amount of pressure on him because the offense could not even afford a single mistake. And they had one mistake, and look at what ended up happening. So, but okay, so that's kind of the LSU. On the Ole Miss side, look, Lane Kiffin put together a masterpiece.
Yeah.
He got the big ranked win that he needed. He did it his own when his back was against the wall. It's a week after getting completely shut down by Alabama in that second half. This second half, he goes down 9 with 7 minutes left, 5 minutes. And when you go down 9, that should be all she wrote. And Lane Kiffin finds a way to get that offense going. They scored 21 in the fourth to win the game. Take a bow, Jackson Dart. Quinshon Judkins got going for the first time. 33 carries for 177 and a touchdown. Great job by Ole Miss getting a win to move to 4-1, move up the rankings when they desperately needed it.
Well, what impressed me the most was Ulysses Bentley, honestly. I didn't realize he had that kind of wiggle to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was making defender, and once again, it goes back to just piss poor tackling for LSU, but he was making guys miss and making them look silly out there. And this is maybe not to this extreme, but this is what we kind of expect from Lane Kiffin running the football. 317 yards, 6.5 yard average. Judkins ran with some anger.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, to me, there was never, I don't think anyone was questioning Judkins. I think everyone was, I guess you could say, making excuses of, hey, the offensive line's not playing well. We understand you're banged up. But I still think if you polled most people that cover the sport, they would still say, hey, this is still a top 5 running back in college football. They just got to get their mojo back. And once they do, it's going to be kind of off to the races. And then this was the perfect game to do that. You're at home in front of your home crowd against a big brand. Good, bad defense, I don't really care, but still a big branded football team.
Yeah.
And you went out there and ran for over 300 yards, and that was the best I've seen Judkins run this entire season. You brought it up. Jackson Dart was magnificent, and he's been great all year. I just feel for Jaden right now because
Bro, he put up over
Like we talk about,
500 total yards and 5 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels.
It kind of feels this whole situation feels very similar. And we did the USC Notre Dame breakdown. We're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit, but it feels very similar to that, where you're wasting this incredible offense because your defense is complete shit. And the same thing can be said for the Trojans. We touched on it a little bit yesterday. You're wasting a generational quarterback in Caleb Williams because your defense is crap. And the hard part for me comparing the defenses is LSU has talented football players. Like, they have projected 2 first-round NFL guys on that defense. There's probably going to be 4, 5, 6 guys drafted off that defense at some point in the NFL draft.
It's funny you mentioned the Ole Miss offensive line. I think they deserve a ton of credit because they had not been good up to this point in the season, and they whipped LSU's ass up front.
They did.
I don't understand. LSU lines up like 1.5 yards away. Like, it's crazy. Ed Ogeron, back when I went to Ed Ogeron's football camp when I was in high school at Ole Miss, and he used to always say credit card. Like, the only thing I should be able to get between you and the ball is a fucking credit card. And these dudes are allowing to line like a 1.5 yard get off. Look, and when you talk about just how bad it all is and how it's seemingly a waste of some talent that you do have if you're weak on the back end, like, that's where Matt House, the defensive coordinator, has some tough questions to answer. And it's not all the coach's fault, obviously, right? When it's this bad, everybody has a hand in it, right? But you got to be better than this. I mean, this is all time levels of bad, and I cannot wait. We'll update the analytics on Monday.
It's all want. It's all want to. I mean, at the end of the day, tackling is do you want to be physical? Do you want? You can blame today's game. You can blame the fact that you can't be as physical maybe in practice, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the man. It comes down to the football player. Do you want to be physical? Do you want to play a game that is in nature physical? And do you want to take that guy down? Man to man. It's you versus him. And Ole Miss wanted it more than you did last night. All right. And it was kind of honestly embarrassing.
Okay, so I know Brum just wants to talk about like the 3 games. I kind of want to run through a lot of these scores. I'm sorry we spent so much time on LSU. Let's do some blurbs. First off, Georgia, 27-20. I know y'all live reacted yesterday, Aaron, but I think a lot of people listening to the show probably expect me like, I told you, Georgia, this and that, this and that. But I mean, that was a back against the rope situation, and
found a way to win again.
Found a way to win in Jordan-Hare, and then that stadium was electric. You could feel the very belief that I was talking about last week. Is there a lot to clean up? Yes. Does it feel like Georgia's the national champion favorite? No. But they're still undefeated, and so
Auburn's a good defense.
Yeah.
And Auburn's like I don't think we give Auburn enough credit. I think we kind of say like, oh, you only can score 27 points. You only won 27-0. You were in a hostile environment against a tremendous defense. Like, I think we just focus on, for Auburn, the quarterback issues. Oh, they don't have a quarterback. Oh, they can't score points. Oh, they can't do this or that. But what can they do? They can play great. Go back to last week versus Texas A&M. And A&M's a really good offense. A very good offense.
Yeah, no, they're salty.
And they held them to 10 points in the first half, and that was on the road. It wasn't like it was in your home stadium where you had 80, 90,000 fans going crazy. So I am. The more I thought about it last night, like, does Georgia have some glaring issues? Yeah, like the defensive line has to be better. I thought the offensive line at times was kind of average, which is a little bit surprising. I still think there's some holes in the secondary. Like, this is a far from perfect football team. But at least right now, through the first 5 games of the season, at least you have a team that will fight. A team that like you alluded to, T-Bob, when their backs are against the ropes, they're going to come out swinging. They did versus South Carolina, and they did versus Auburn. And I thought Carson Beck actually played a really good football game throughout the entire game. Like, his composure, and Kirby's hit it a bunch. The guy's heartbeat doesn't change. Like, he is steady Eddie no matter what's going on. And I think we learned a lot about them in a good way yesterday in that win versus the Tigers.
Look, you can get Georgia into a corner, but you got to be damn good to land the knockout blow. And nobody has thus far. What's up, y'all? T-Bob here from Snaps, daily college football show that I hope you really enjoy. And I've been getting a lot of crap on my show lately about, choosing Alabama over Texas. You know what I didn't do, though? I didn't bet on him. You know who I did bet on? Kansas. Okay.
And I did it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app because when it comes on where I like to gamble, I love the DraftKings app. And it's because they got incredible offers. If you're already a DraftKings customer, well, check this out. Every single NFL game day during September, you're not going to have just one, but two new offers waiting on you when you sign in. So you'll have to sign in to see exactly what those offers are. But just remember, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, every NFL game day, all customers getting two exciting offers from DraftKings to play with. It's a ton of fun. But what if you're a new customer? Well, I've got an even better deal for you. You use the promo code T-Bob when you sign up, okay? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code T-Bob, T-B-O-B. You bet $5 on any NFL game, you get $200 instantly in bonus bets. That's right. Put $5 down on any of the games. Don't even have to win. You get $200 instantly in bonus bets. You can go play with those on college football, NFL, whatever you want. You can play with those and some of those incredible deals you get. So you see it. There's not a more fun place to get in on the action than DraftKings. And you can do all your same game parlays, multi-game parlays, whatever you want. So download the app now. Sign up with the promo code T-Bob, T-B-O-B, $5 gets you $200 in bonus bets instantly. And for returning customers, remember every NFL game day, 2 exciting new offers from your official sports betting partner of the NFL, DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Game from Friday night we didn't touch on. Told you, Aaron. Oregon State, Utah. No Cam Rising, no win for Utah.
Good.
Utah was never going to be able to move the ball in Corvallis. Oregon State gets a big 21-7 win. Utah, I'm officially, Aaron, I'm taking them out. The big 4 in the Pac-12 is now a big 3. We are down to USC, Oregon, and Washington.
Mm-mm.
What?
Cam will be back. They got the bye week right now. I think Cam Rising will be back. This defense is still elite. I'm not going to count out Utah just yet.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay, you're probably right.
They would be 4 for me. Like, I'm not going to say that they deserve to be in the top 3 of the conversation. I still think it's. I mean, for how bad USC's defense is, you can't tell me when Utah gets Cam Rising back, they're not going to be able to move the ball against them.
No, you're right. And
Washington had a close game last night versus Arizona.
Yeah, no doubt.
I still think it's wide open between those 4, but if I had to kind of go, 1 through 4, it would probably be, in my mind, Oregon 1, Washington 2, USC 3, Utah 4.
I think that was a really good win for Texas yesterday, 40-14 over Kansas. Now, in one of the more lame developments of the day, Jalen Daniels is a late scratch with back tightness right before the game, which, when you get these big matchups, you want the best players. So that was a huge bummer. But Bean is good. Like, Bean is still pretty good for Kansas and has been and has played a ton last year. And so getting a controlled, pretty consistent 40-14 win in which you outscore them 27-7 in the second half, like, that tells me something about Texas. That's a damn good win, dude. Texas, I feel more validated than I have all season that we put them at number 1 this last week.
Well, it's the trenches again for Texas. I mean, the Jonathan Brooks was, I don't know how much you saw the game, was absolutely dominant. Just incredible. And the offensive line was the same way. 336 total yards rushing, 6.6 yard average. And it was big, explosive runs, too. Like, these weren't little, 5-6 yard gains. I mean, he was getting 10, 15 yards.
Yeah.
I think he had like a long of 60-plus yards. Like, this is a team that we know can be explosive throwing the football with Quinn Ewers and those receivers. Now, all of a sudden, you're getting a little bit of a taste of teams having to play a little bit softer and them saying, all right, you want to play soft? Well, we'll just run down your throat then. Like, our offensive line, to me, that offensive line has taken what they did versus Alabama on the road, and it's taken their game to another level, because we worried about that offensive line after the first game of the season. Could they be physical? They're a veteran group, and now they're showing that veteran leadership, and they're going out there and running the football in a big way. So, yeah, Texas, we had a number 1 in the country heading into the season, you and I. They look like the best team in the country still after this weekend.
And, well, I definitely didn't have a number 1 coming into the season.
We had them heading into the weekend.
Oh, heading the weekend, yes. So not the season.
No, the weekend.
But you know what comes up next? The old Red River rivalry in Oklahoma looked damn good yesterday, 50-20 over Iowa State. Oklahoma starting to flex that muscle as well. That's going to be a big boy, Aaron. I'm excited for that, dude.
What's the opening line on that one? I think Texas rolls again, but
we're going to see, because Oklahoma's defense looks good.
They do look good.
Looks really good.
They do.
I
Trust
gotta
me,
give
I
Brent
know.
Venables
They
a
look
lot
real
of
good.
credit. I hated on him, and he's proved me wrong. Tennessee defending the home turf against South Carolina. They needed this one. Certainly after getting embarrassed in the swamp, you were at home, dark mode jerseys, revenge for last year. South Carolina kept you out the playoff, all the elements, and they end up controlling that game pretty handily. South Carolina's offensive line remains horrible. Tennessee can run the hell out of the ball.
Yeah. Still Joe Milton, though. I mean, that's a problem, man.
You
2
know what, though?
interceptions.
How about this? Aaron? I agree. Not for this year. Like, Tennessee's not going to be great this year. But if they put together like 9 wins with a quarterback that they feel like is only okay, that's a great sign for the future. Like, that's not.
But do you think they're going to win 9 games this year?
I don't know. We'll see. The 5.
They got A&M.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Missouri. Georgia.
Yeah,
I would have them in dogs in all those games right now.
That's pretty tough. Ladies.
That's more like set 5. Hey, ladies.
Hold on. We're almost
Hey,
done,
ladies. They just want their daddy. They just want to hang out with their daddy.
Notre Dame Duke, a super exciting game in Raleigh. Man, if you want to see why you went and got Sam Hartman, go watch the final drive of this game. Where you start in your own end zone. Sam Hartman catches pressure in the end zone. He evades it. He comes up with a 4th and 15 scramble on it, like just extending the drive until the offensive line puts it away to get the big 21-14 win and bounce back. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. My wife's in Morgantown with Quad Bob, who is dressed up in
that scholarship.
Dressed up in his West. Hey, how about Neil Brown in West Virginia? We don't have to talk about it.
I know.
Big one over TCU. What about Notre Dame Duke, though? A great bounce back from Notre Dame against a very good team on the road.
Oh, a huge game for them. I mean, this was, and I thought they played solid the whole game. Nothing super sexy back and forth. But I will say this, like, for how impressed I was with Duke, I got to give a lot of credit for Notre Dame. I got to give a lot of credit to Duke.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Like this team is a good football team. This is still a team that's going to be right in the thick of it when it comes to competing for an ACC championship. When it's all said and done, like they play great defense. I think Leonard got a little bit banged up last night at the end of the game, so we'll see what the extent of that's going to be. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. But you got a very talented quarterback. You have an incredible defense. I walked away saying, okay, great bounce back game, Notre Dame. Bigger, maybe even bigger props of what Duke is able to do in year 2 with Mike Elko to be in a 1-possession game, almost win the game versus Notre Dame and be 5-0. Who would have thought we'd be saying that about the Duke Blue Devils?
With a Clemson win under your belt. Well, but guess what? It sets up now, Aaron. In 2 weeks, USC traveling to South Bend to take on the Golden Domers. That's going to be another big boy. In fact, USC's got the whole Pac-12 has a lot of them. We are about to become a Pac-12 show over the next few weeks, likely. Other top 25 scores. Oregon handles their business against Stanford. They look great. Alabama.
Can you please give your other co-hosts, Jacob Hester, some crap, because there's a lot of people right now in the country that think Penn State is maybe the number 1 team in the country. That Penn State's elite. Penn State's not. They're just not. I'm sorry. Penn State's going to lose 2 games this season. They're going to be 10-2 again. They're going to lose to Ohio State. They're going to lose to Michigan. They're not. They're not. They are not explosive enough on offense. Their defense is really good.
You think Ohio State, though? You think like Kyle McCord in that Ohio State offense? I feel like
I don't think Penn State's. Yeah, but I don't think Ohio State's defense is tremendous. Like I don't think, and it's at Ohio State. Like I don't think Penn State's going to be able to score on them. Yeah. I have more confidence that Ohio State can score against Penn State's defense than I have any confidence right now in Drew Lar and that football team. Like they're not running the ball well at all, and Drew Lar he's good, but just nothing special. Like this team cannot create explosives. They're not explosive on the outside, and the run game is yet to catch fire.
Alabama beats Mississippi State 40-17 in Starkville. Alabama looks like they're finding their identity, man. And you could say however flawed you think it is, but they play great defense. I mean, look what they did against Ole Miss versus LSU doesn't really matter, whatever. But they play great defense and they run the ball. Again, they're kind of like Georgia a little bit, where it's like, I'm not going to sit here and just tell you that this is a great team or anything, but and you could probably, this is your best chance to beat them in a while, but yeah, it's still going to be hard as hell to land that final punch. Like Texas did it because Texas is elite. Not many other teams are going to have the raw, overwhelming talent to be able to do it.
Next week at A&M, I got A&M in the football game.
Okay,
I got A&M. I think A&M, it takes a team that can stand up in the trenches and force Alabama to throw the football, and you have to be physical. You have to have some dudes up front. I think A&M has the front seven to force Alabama to be a little bit more run pass balanced, which is in favor of the defense. So
yeah, and A&M
I think that's gonna be great
yesterday, dude.
They did look very good. Max Johnson's played in big time football games. I mean, we've been over the stats before. Like, he's played a lot of football. He is over 40 career touchdowns.
Almost at 50.
He ain't gonna be afraid. And it's at A&M. Last time they were in that stadium, A&M won the football game. And I think A&M is a better football team than they were 2 years ago. And I think Alabama's a worse team than they were 2 years ago. So
True.
Take that for what it's worth.
True on all fronts. I know I did some of this yesterday, but I need to continue to do it. I owe Mark Stoops an apology.
You do.
I called that man Mark Poops for 24 hours. And really it was Sunbelt Billy, who I should have been pooping on. Because Kentucky, in their first real test of the season, they haven't played anybody. They haven't looked good up to this point. That offensive line goes out there. And now I'm still don't know if Kentucky's the second best in the East. Tennessee still has something to say about that potentially, but like Kentucky's still flawed. I mean, Devin Leary, 9 of 19, 69 yards, but when Ray Davis carries it 26 times for 280, 3 touchdowns, and the offensive line absolutely runs over. Like, everybody kept telling me that Kentucky had the bad run defense and that Trevor Etienne and Montrell Johnson could be the ones running all over the place. The complete opposite ends up happening. Shout out that Kentucky offensive line. What I'm saying with Stoops is like, regardless of what happens, like, yes, Kentucky beating Florida now 3 times in a row, 4 of the last 6. He has changed over 30 years of momentum in that rivalry and in those 2 programs where Florida just had that chalked up as an automatic win. And that's really hard. It's like turning like the Titanic or something. That shit is hard to do, to go from losing 30-something times in a row to then winning 3 in a row. So shout out Big Blue. I apologize. I love your uniforms too.
Got a big sets up for a big game next weekend. Undefeated Kentucky going on the road to undefeated Georgia.
Is LSU going to lose to Mizzou next week?
They might, honestly. Golly, that's crazy.
Is Georgia going to lose to Kentucky?
Because Mizzou's offense right now is humming. I know. Brady Cook is kicking butt.
I know.
Luther Burden continues to dominate. Theo Weiss looked really good yesterday, too, for Missouri.
Oh, my God. Cook went for 395 and 4 tuds yesterday. Jeez.
It was versus Vanderbilt.
No, I know. No.
I mean, I don't know how much better I don't know how much worse Vanderbilt defense is than LSU right now. So.
Okay. Chill out. Cease and desist. A little too painful, but true. No, but still, I don't care if it's against Vanderbilt. Nobody gave Brady Cook any credit, and not that you should have. We all thought he sucked. Sucked. And now this man's out here. Let's see the updated stats. Of course, oh my God, Jay. He is second only to Jaden Daniels right now in QB rating. Jaden at 193. Brady Cook at 187. Now has 11 touchdowns to no picks. Actually, if he didn't throw a pick last night, he set the SEC record for most attempts ever without a pick. It used to be Andre Woodson's record. He needed 19 or something. So Brady Cook.
Yeah, he set the record.
Yeah, he set the record last night.
Yeah,
he broke Andre Woodson's. Why don't you have that record, dude? You just suck. You throw picks. What's up, dude?
Yeah, I did throw a lot of picks. I was a little bit more of a gunslinger. I apologize.
Oh,
if you're gonna throw 121 touchdowns, you can't be playing like little bitch football. You gotta be taking some chances now.
Dude. Hell yeah, dude. Oh my God, Jaden Daniels has already thrown for 1,700 yards and 16 touchdowns. Nobody else
It's
is even
unfortunate.
close.
He's having a Heisman type season, or at least to be invited to New
Yeah.
York, and
Yeah.
that defense is going to cost him, unfortunately.
All right. Well, Aaron, anything else that I feel like we did? This was a fun little Sunday.
Yeah,
filling
run through
in
it.
the corners. Yeah, a little filling in the corners, going around the leagues.
That was good. Subscribe, like. We appreciate all of it.
Yes.
If you want a little bit more in depth on USC, Notre Dame, and Georgia versus Auburn, we have two shows we did yesterday.
Yeah.
Where we broke those games down. So if you want a little bit more in depth,
Oh,
go
yeah,
back to YouTube and go get
yesterday.
those.
Yeah, we didn't talk yesterday.
Yeah, just go. We'll do a little bit more of that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
sorry, then I just interrupted you because I'm off of this job. All right, yes, please, Aaron's right. Call back to the other videos. Go check out the USC Colorado reaction yesterday if you want to get our full thoughts on that. All right, y'all. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. I think I'm going to try to make some St. Louis style ribs today on the smoker.
Ooh, that a boy.
We'll see how it goes. But we'll see you tomorrow for some snaps. We will be live on YouTube Monday. Remember that youtube.com/@VimesNaps. Like, subscribe. We love you. Rate and review the Snaps podcast. Huge thank you to Ryan Brumley waking up with us this morning, everybody else on the Snaps team, and we will see you on Monday. Later.